Hello there. The fight back against the communist globalist agenda has now started in earnest, and part of that must be to eradicate this offensive and derogatory indoctrination of your UK culture must be obliterated because it is racist and offensive to newcomers. Let's cut straight to the chase. Anyone who comes to this country for a better life or for sanctuary, who later demands that our entire way of life must change to slot in with their beliefs and customs, has no place here. I'll say that again so as to make myself crystal clear. Anyone who comes here seeking a safe haven or a more prosperous life must either fit in and assimilate, or, if they find our way of life and customs to be so offensive to them, they should do the logical thing and leave for a more suitable place for them. And this should not be controversial. And I do have to wonder why they would come here in the first place if our customs and heritage is so offensive to them. It is not the duty of the settled population to move on the whim of a minority of newcomers. It is the duty of those newcomers benefiting from being here to fit in with the settled majority. And no amount of screaming racist at the majority changes that one iota. Also, as far as I'm concerned, anyone spouting historical, cultural and ethnic untruths about our islands, its settled population down the ages and the achievements of that population is spouting woke anti-UK, anti-white racist propaganda. As are those espousing our new two-tier society and injustice system that acts to the detriment of the majority. And this anti-UK culture has become so atrocious that the woke communists would have you believe that being white is now a crime in the UK. That's why they've invented this term of white privilege to brickbat us with. An invented concept with zero basis in reality. In fact, with the way that diversity, equity and inclusion is executed against the settled population, it is actually an insidious form of oppression. And we should recognise it and call it out as such. And I'm not joking, just look at the explosion of DEI across our public and private sectors and the anti-white outcomes it brings with it. I don't care what they say or think. DEI must DIE now. This totally misnamed diversity, equity and inclusion causes more division by the day and costs the economy in terms of both money and safety when some people are given jobs or promoted well above their capabilities, all based on DEI alone. Because the settled population is being continually shuffled to the back of the queue, and the newcomers come to believe more and more every day that this is their entitlement. DEI is a monstrous assault on our settled society and is causing us massive division and damage. And any party that states that it will rid us of that abomination will reap a harvest of more votes than they can ever imagine. The vast silent majority of us understand this, but the vocal minority internationalists who want to break down our borders and sovereignty are still calling the shots here. And be in no doubt they are extremely ardent in their beliefs that we must kowtow to their DEI demands. But as far as I'm concerned, every DEI official should be sacked tomorrow. No, actually, sacked today. because we don't need DEI officials finding ever more reasons to tramp on the dreams of our settled population as mission creep expands DEI into a major UK destroying industry. For example, these DEI types have been coming for our Christmas and Easter celebrations for years, claiming that reference to either Christmas or Easter is offensive to the non-settled population, so the names must be expunged from all aspects of our lives. Even the simple act of openly wearing a crucifix at work is to be severely frowned upon. And they are still intent on removing all reference to our Christian heritage from our schools, our holidays, and even our architecture, and replacing it with another religion. According to DEI, Christmas must become Winter Festival, or more slangily, Winterval. And Easter must become Spring Festival, and the term Lent must never, ever, ever be applied. And Easter eggs, they must become gesture eggs. That way sweetness and light will glow across the land, or so the woke communists would have you believe. Well, I say no. Now, most of you watching right now aren't subscribed to the channel, so here's what you need to do after liking this video. Press the subscribe button, then hit the little bell and select all. That way you'll get every single video the moment it's released, and if you don't, you're going to miss what's coming. So I say Christmas is Christmas and celebrates the birth of Christ. And I say Easter is Easter and celebrates the resurrection of Christ. That is their basis in our UK society, which is still, I would remind you, a constitutionally Christian country. And how is it possible that newcomers who come here for a better life or for safety can possibly be offended by the culture and beliefs of those who welcomed them and have family roots going back for generations here? And how is it that the UK population is not meant to be offended by halal slaughter, for example? And how is it that newcomers are not required by the very same rules of DEI not to offend to change the names of their celebrations, like Ramadan, for example, from a religious to a non-religious symbology, just as we are required by DEI to deny our Christian roots? Why is the DEI brigade not insisting that those celebrations new to our shores be renamed as the Spring Fasting Festival or some such? Or does the concept of offence only march in one direction? And if, in the belief of the woke DEI brigade, offence does only march in one direction, that makes it an inbuilt anti-white, anti-UK racism. I say bring on the next Unite the Kingdom rally, because it will be twice as large as the last one and send out an even more massive message to those who wish to belittle and destroy the UK and its citizens. Finally, please like, subscribe and comment below, and a big shout out to our channel membership and Patreon supporters, and thank you for watching.